caught in the act is part of the thrill.
It's the motherfucking rooftop rocker. Shoot, polish, squeeze on a new spot. Hotter than Tucson. Lava drips like saliva, make it pop like collars. Never rack paint, claiming you done gotta. You done nada. You crew jump riders. And now the best, the only time that you done gotta. Holla at Wood Auto Rack Bomber.
And we're off to the races. How's everyone doing today? I'm super excited because every time I grace the screen, I feel like, oh my God, it's a new canvas. And speaking of canvas, tonight is a treat that I have for all of y'all. I have a wonderful artist, graffiti artist, that is, because graffiti is now art. And before it was, people had a misconception of it. It's dirty, it's street, it's crazy. But guess what? I knew that it was a matter of time that eventually the masses would speak. The people have spoken, and there's a lot of graffiti throw-ups, pieces, tags, anything you want to call it, from the east to the west. You hear it on music videos of Black Eyed Peas, which I know one of their members used to be a tagger in his heyday, and whatnot. A lot of people have embraced graffiti as an art form because it is, in fact, it's not easy to do. A lot of people think it is, but it isn't. It takes attitude. It's a certain style, a certain way of life. And guys, I have a treat for you because tonight, only here, an almost famous radio podcast with yours truly, Jim Francis Meza, I have the honor and privilege to introduce to you the one and only, the guy that needs no introduction, really. One of the renowned artists, taggers, graffiti artists. I just saw his name plastered on some freaking freeway just yesterday. Guys, from the San Fernando Valley, give it up for Poise.
Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all mine, man. I mean, like, the street cred is unbelievable to me. How you guys get the street cred, and then now it's like it's in movies. You can't help but see graffiti artist names in movies. A lot of people, it takes a lot of skill to be able to do throw-ups and graffiti pieces, which is big graffiti letters, as it were, with different colors, multiple colors and whatnot, and tagging, bombing everywhere, all over. How the hell do you do it, boys? Holy shit, you're prolific, bro.
I mean, I don't really, my work is not necessarily what the volume is, but it's just like usually there's people that like to do like different things, like there are those guys that, do like specific things. I like to do it all, I like to do a roller, I like to do a bomb, Mostly I just loved it. I used to start it out as a tagger. I just loved to write on shit. I was just like, once I started, I just couldn't stop.
I love it. Once you started, you just couldn't stop. Now, this is great, the moniker Poise, because I'm poised to have you on the show. You and I are poised to talk to each other. Where does the moniker come from for you on a personal level?
My name Poise, when I was like 13 or 14, I had got busted. I got arrested at school, in junior high school, and I had to change my name. I used to write Kest, K-E-S-T, and because the school police had me on file, my parents knew who I was. And I was actually playing basketball in his league, and the coach, whoever won that league would run the all-star team. And I was drafted with I was his first pick. We all it was a park league. We all grew up playing together, and we ran the league. And every time there was a big play or a big shot, he'd always call me Mr. Poise, Mr. Poise. And when I was like 13, I didn't really even know what poise meant. And when I had to change my name, I like the letters, I like the POI. And then so it just went, I just tried it out. And then actually when I first started, I wrote POI SE, POIZE, POYSE, and POYZE. But I realized when one of my friends was like, "Oh, I seen some fool up writing POYSE." He's like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, that was me. And I realized I was diluting my name by like putting out 4 different names instead of just focusing on one name. Because once I started putting it all one name, then it's like that name would be up. You know what I mean? So I just stuck with POYSE.
Wow. That's really awesome. Like, do you recall the first time and what a rush that must have been for you to write, or was it back then? Was it like, hello, my name is Sticker, or like, you write on the MTA and that sort of thing with the big pilots? Like, what did it all feel like when you're doing something so risky and that adrenaline's pumping.
Oh, it's a rush. I remember ninth grade when I first went to high school. Like all my friends, like, cause like I went to homeschool. All my neighborhood friends were there, and like every time the bus would pull up right there, the 152, there would be like 15 to 30 fucking taggers running up on that bus and just writing all over the outside. It was just an adrenaline rush because you had to be there up front, or you ain't even get a spot to write on the bus because it would be full. And then like I'd be with my best friend, the original say so, and like if we were just there at the bus stop by ourselves, trust me, that bus driver is driving right by us. He does not even want us. He already knows what we're gonna do on that bus, But yeah, it's just a rush. Everything is a rush. It's all different. Like freeway bike to it. I just did a roller on the freeway not that long ago, like a couple nights ago, and it's still a rush because
Wow,
just
it's
the adrenaline
unbelievable.
of it, like like you get, yeah,
So
yeah,
rad, bro. I mean,
yeah. So this is
like I
definitely.
told you, I grew up kind of, you and I grew up like more or less the same. We skated and did a bunch of different cool stuff. Now, I had a cousin that was a writer early on. That's why I learned so much about writing. And I lived like maybe half a mile away from Chaka back in the day, back in like on First Street. I lived not far from there. And I remember like all the graffiti artists, everybody's wondering this Chaka guy, who the hell is it? Or is it like we thought it was a battalion. There was like a group, like this mob of literally a mob though of people that would get sent every which way, delegate, like you're gonna go tag over here. And this is one dude early in the morning, thanks to Fox 11. They're showing this one cat early in the morning with his buddies, Sleaze one and rest in peace, and a few others, going to the tag, like early, like 3 in the morning. Like these dudes were on skateboards, and I was like, dang, this is like talk about a crazy freaking an escapade, a crazy deal to get out up in the morning and just go do that. It's a whole other like a world, and obviously the street cred. I mean, this guy's stuff is on Nirvana's I think one of their videos, if I remember correctly, and a few other places. But I am, every era comes with its own renowned artists, as such as yourself, and I remember way back then. So I'm obviously talking about circa late 80s. I think it was late 89 or 1990, and then of course you were starting out more or less around like early 90s, right? Kind of a little after that, you started off.
Yeah,
Right, so you must have been in diapers,
yeah.
bro. When you took up your first pilot, you were in diapers.
No, but I was the youngest guy in my neighborhood. Like all my friends were older and they were skaters, so of course I'm trying to
Yeah,
tag along and do it. But I remember even when I was in elementary school, like my first big like person in the scene that just caught my eye was Euler. I took a field trip to the down to the Natural History Museum in downtown LA. I just remember
right.
seeing Euler up everywhere. And I was
Yeah,
like, damn, this fool's on a different level. Because like all my friends in the neighborhood rode, but they didn't really leave the neighborhood. And I was just like going down in LA. I'm just like, fuck, dude, this is amazing. It's like there's graffiti everywhere. But everywhere you look, you still saw Euler up on top, like fucking
yeah,
heaven, back of signs and everything. So I like that was my first like ching, like
yeah.
what, this is something I want to do, and that's when
Dude,
I
that's
just
crazy. That's when your
wanted
first
to.
influence. Same thing. I saw Euler back in the day. Like I was like oil, such as it would say Euler, and it was like COI. It was like Cause of Insanity. I think it was the name of the crew. LOD, different, Lokes on Dope or Legions of Doom, I believe. There's all this like these letters in Euler everywhere too for a hot second, everywhere, like all over. And I think up until recently in San Fernando, I still see some of his oil tags. I think they're fresh. So oil is probably
Yeah.
still. I think once you get that bug, it never stops, right? Like you said.
What does Drew from OTR say? Only toys retire.
Yeah, OTR on the
Yeah.
rag. Only toys retire. That's right. So you guys keep going over forever, dude. Now speaking of OTR, dude, that's like by far one of the oldest ones, right? Like here in LA, CBS, OTR, STK, I think, TNT. Like those are the old school ones, like 80s, right?
Yep, WCA, you got some UTI. Yeah,
UTI,
there's a
dude.
lot. I mean,
There's
yeah,
so
I
many.
mean, there's a
Depends
lot.
on what part of LA, right? We're talking about
Exactly.
too.
For instance, there's ones like like I think is KCC or K4P, like South Central area, and you have like WCA, like and then like just different things. But yeah, I mean, there's some definitely some old crews out there for sure.
Let's talk about the era where it went from just artists expressing their art form because there's like so intricate. Some of these letters, the way you make them, there's like it goes in and out, and obviously it's like calligraphy almost. Really, really cool. And only to the naked eye for a normal person, you wouldn't be able to know what it says. But to a like a tag or an artist, they would actually know the letters, right? Isn't that so?
Yeah, I'd be for me though, like some people just do too much with that. Like I always go by like one of my favorite artists was this guy Next from MSK. Like he just always was big, bold. To me, it's like if you really got to sit there and try to concentrate to read what it says, that's like I don't know. That's not really my style. I like it to be big, bold. I want it to be like if it's on a train, either a
Yeah.
train's moving or you're moving in a car. So it's like you only got like a little bit of, or like if someone's on a freeway, you're driving by at what, 50, 60 miles per hour. Like, so you want to be able to read it. Like, there's like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I've
Cool.
always liked more simpler, crisp, bold style, but everyone has their own thing. Everyone likes their
It's
own
fresh.
style.
Very cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of fresh, I remember like what you're saying. I remember like the first, what was it like break dance or breaking, and then it was another film where they show the graffiti artists from the 80s and some of them like 1970s, dude. So tagging's been around since the 70s, probably, right? Would you say?
I believe so. I know that the Wild Styles movie from New York, but I think it was in the 80s, and like, yeah, I mean, it's just it's been it's one of the elements of hip hop.
Yeah,
It's just blown up though, just like everything has in that.
yeah. Um, Poise, thanks for coming on, man. And like 2MC, what does 2MC stand for?
Well, 2MC originally started it's funny because it was kind of like a joke because like I had like a major back surgery and I was like down for like I had a couple injuries that like really prevented me from doing like a lot of graffiti for like a couple years. And my boy that I used to write with, my homie Sober, we're just messing around with some of our other friends, and we're like, man, we could just do two-man crew and just take these fools out if we really wanted to, because they were joking around like, oh, you fools need to come out and paint with us, and I was just like, it's just really hard to do graffiti the way you want to do it when you're physically limited. Like if I can't climb over walls and I can't run, like if I gotta run from the police or I gotta run from a dog or some gangsters and fucking hop over a wall, I know I can't do that because I have back surgery. Then I'm really not gonna be that active. You know what I mean? So like there was like 3-4 years where I was just fucking dude. I had injury after injury. I had a major back surgery. I had a problem with my neck, and like even right now it's starting to happen again with some injuries that I need to take care of. But so it started out with me as my boy Sober, like right, it was like 2018, right before COVID shit, and we were just like, yeah, fucking around. We're like with our other friends, we're like, we'll just be a two-man crew, we'll battle each other, and we ended up just fucking around and just getting really up. And then like the other homies wanted to get in the crew, and then sooner or later we had like 30 people in this shit, and we're in 3 states, but now it's pretty much too much chaos, too much to maintain control, too much chomos, to master creativity, to master criminality. I mean, there's just so many different things that people come up with. Like there's like
Yeah,
20 something people in the crew, and they all got their own one that they like. I like to maintain control, too much chaos.
love it. Um, Let me ask you this. Um, we're gonna also delve into like the tagging crews versus the tag bangers. So if I'm not mistaken, and my mind doesn't fail me, the tagging crews evolve. Some of them evolve into gangs, and we'll talk about that shortly. Others maintain a sense of it was kind of like it sort of like bled into a kind of a duality, kind of like a gang slash tagging, like hence tag banger. So it's almost like because they were trying to fight off some of the gangs, correct? Isn't that the case?
I don't know if that's the case like that. I look at it like this. There's certain crews that like they're more active like with the beef and shit. Like to me, I'm not with the beef and drama shit like that. I just want to go out there and do graffiti. But I know there's like
Right.
you gotta also think about it. A lot of crews have like fools that are in there that are also like they're taggers, but they're also like really from hoods. There's people
Okay.
like that. So it's like so like when one crew gets beef with another crew, there's some crews that are like really like they go out there and they're with the business. They're trying to go out there and handle their enemy, whatever, because they have certain people in that crew and they have that mentality, like that street mentality, like just fuck it. But there's definitely crews out there that are tag bangers. There's crews out there that have beef with hoods. You know, there's fucking crews that have beef with each other to the point where they're like, you know, shooting and killing each other. So to that, you know I have friends from like all that shit. Like I have friends that are from a hood and they're also from a crew. I have a lot of those friends. Actually, I can name at least 10 people that are like I know that are writers and from a hood, but
Okay.
um, to me, I don't want that in my crew. I don't want that. Like, I generally push the line of like, you know what, let's just, show respect and let's work this issue out. If we gotta fucking, what we got, like, I'm not trying to go out there, hey, let's go get strapped up and go look for our ops. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like resolve shit the more diplomatic way because I don't want to see like one of my little homies get caught slipping for some shit that one of my other friends did that he would, just because he has an ego problem, he can't handle like some stupid shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, every crew's different. I'm happy to see like some like major crews like like MTA TKO squash the beef after 25 years. Like that sets an
Wow.
example to other people. Like, hey, you know what? There was lives lost in that shit, and if they can squash it, then like other people should be able to squash over some petty shit. To me, I
Yeah.
always say, look, if you want beef and you want that kind of drama, go join a hood. Like, don't get the fuck out of graffiti. Graffiti's for the art, the culture. Part of hip hop. Gang
Yeah.
shit's
Yeah.
not part of no fucking hip hop culture. You
It's
know,
cool. I
that's the
love
way I
that.
look at it.
Yeah, you're level-headed. You know exactly what you want, and it sounds like you're a peacemaker. You're not a hater. You're not, you leave your ego at the door, so to speak, and just like it's all about the art in the hip hop, in the culture. Realistically, it's a street culture, also the art culture, and I love that, man. I love that about you, bro. I also was gonna ask you because see during that era, my mind serves me well. There's in the East Side, you had I think it was Cam. Cam used to be a tagging crew in the 90s. And Cam became Crazy Ass Mexicans became an actual gang. And I think they went head on with some other gangs and then they solidified their place. And I think it was over like by the Fickett Street area. And then they became Fickett Street, which was an older gang, became part of Cam, and Cam just blew up and became its own gang. So there's a lot of good graffiti artists within Cam, apparently. That's what I hear.
There's also from like that '90s era when Tigers got green light on them. There was a
Yeah,
time that
that's
like
right.
whole tagging crews got told they're like, look, you either need to join a hood, and they like there was tagging
That's
crews
right.
that got absorbed into hoods as cliques, or they're either like you either need to graduate and be a part of the hood, or just stop writing because if you get caught writing in this hood, you're gonna get lit up. Like I know
Right.
like there was a Jokers clique from Reseda that were JS. There was like my homies from like this CHB became part of Haskell. DYP became part of fucking Sun Valley Diablos. A lot of 129 and K&Ls got into like violin. It was just not by choice. It's just like that was that time and era, like STP
Yeah.
even, they had San Fernando, Sanfe. It's just what happened because it was kind of ordered, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and,
Florida from
and
the
it,
higher ups.
yeah, and this
Yeah.
was like it was just a weird time, like that was like when it was like straight that was really tag banging crazy era because it was like shit got real wild back then,
Yeah. Really insane.
but
It was
yeah.
OFA out for action. They became a gang, and I think
They
King's
actually had a
Coastal
clique
and
that actually had a
KCC.
13 on it. Yeah. They
It's
have
fun.
they had a whole clique that has a 13, but that crew right there is so big and they're so old with it. They're still around, and now it's like they're back to the they have a tagging crew, but they do have that clique over in that little area, that hood, but they're with the business. They're one of those crews that like, what, they're not gonna be like, you're not gonna go fuck with them. I'll tell you
You're not
that.
gonna
Like that
back down.
crew's
You can't back down.
they're serious. Yeah, but they're
They're-
but they're about the graph, like they're about the graph, but they're just not gonna shy away from problems. And I would imagine, I mean, like I've always respected that crew. I still have friends from that crew, and they're one of the definitely a legendary LA crew. They actually have cliques in other countries now, I believe. Like
Really?
they have some. Yeah, it's like El Salvador or fuck. I know they have some in Mexico. I don't know exactly which one. I just heard like yeah, but they have cliques in other countries for sure.
Holy smokes! They're worldwide now. There's also, we're talking about the Black Eyed Peas, and I know Tab used to be a writer, dude, back in the day. In Taboo. He was tagged Tab, I think. I think if it was from SKA, Still Kicking Ass, or was it STK, right? Sworn to Kill, the Alhambra cruise, I believe. San Gabriel. I'm not sure, but I think he used to be a tagger back in the day. That's what I heard from some close sources, people that knew him, because he's a dancer. He's one of those b-boys back in the day, and he did a lot that, and obviously they're the Black Eyed Peas, and there's so many people that that kind of blur the lines between hip hop, like you said, and tagging. So I'm sure there's like folks that are out there singing right now that also had a part in it, because it's art at the end of the day. And people spend time writing. My cousin spent hours writing on the papers and whatnot, and then scribbling all over the canvas that he
There,
had with
there's so many
paints and all
artists.
that.
I think like people don't even realize that we're like writers. Like that guy from Crazy Town, Swifty, rest in peace. He was from
Oh yeah.
CBS. He was a writer. He was a
Oh, he
writer.
was from CBS.
He was from CBS.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah, he passed away, dude. He was
Yeah, that's a homie. He was cool.
good.
He just had a lot, rest in peace. He had some problems, some issues, some demons that, we overcame them.
Yeah,
But
he
yeah,
didn't deal
he
with.
was from CBS. I believe Jason Lee, My Name is Earl, he either was from CBS or he was a hanger around there, like he was,
Yeah.
a writer. There's a lot of them, man. There's a couple,
Leonardo
few other
DiCaprio,
rappers.
remember? Leonardo DiCaprio used
I
to hang
didn't,
out right there with Glendale. He used to hang out with some homies in Glendale, apparently.
yeah.
And a few other cats, Clifton Jr. hang out, a lot of folks also. Um, so it's great, man. It's awesome because I see a lot of this in music videos and whatnot. Let's get back to Poise. I want to talk about, like, I mean, there's obviously a huge risk in doing this kind of thing that propels people sometimes, because you live on it. You live on the edge. It's a killer rush. And um how do you prepare for it? Every time you go out, you just prepare mentally. Do you have a mantra? It sounds
I don't even
silly,
think
bro,
about
but
it. Honestly, I don't even think about it. I just like I don't even know. It's weird just because it's like I've been doing it for so long. It's just like fuck. It's like half the time I'm not even expecting to go out because I used to, I sell new paint. So then like some of my homies would come over and buy some paint, and he's like, "Hey, come on, go out." And I wasn't even planning on going out. And then like at the time I grow up, be like, "Fuck, you're gonna go." She said, You didn't say you were going out tonight." I was like, "Well, I didn't know I was going out. It just kind of happened. What happened was, But like, yeah, I don't even think about it. I just think about like getting what I'm gonna need for that night, like what kind of spot it is, like and then I'll just be like, fuck, I gotta get my pole, my roller brush, my naps, or I gotta fill up my bag with like make sure I got my black, my whites, and what color I'm gonna use. Like at that point, that's what it is. Like I don't even think about
it's
it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you run into other like taggers while you're out and about, and other cats like you, the OGs that have been at it forever?
It's fucking yeah.
Up to
It's
some.
like there's I've ran into fucking people on the side of the freeway. I ran into one of them, this guy I know. It was funny because like I don't know if you remember like all those like Hollywood managers were getting bombed. I like literally ran into this one person. He's not even from like just from he's from a different crew. So I ran into him. He's like, "Dang, Poise again." It was funny, dude, because I'll run into him like all the time. Like I ran into him on the side of the 101 freeway. I ran into him like yeah, it's just you just yeah, you're out there in the field. You run into
It's
people for
insane.
sure.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
that's why you got to be careful, like you got to make sure you don't like you don't have like enemies. That's why I don't ever try to do people. I don't cross people. I don't go over people.
Cross
I'm
anyone.
very respectful with the kid because it's like that's other problems. Like there's already enough problems you got to worry about, and then to worry about getting caught slipping out there by some fool that like some enemy. You know what I mean? That's why it's just like
Just put
that.
out the right. You got to put out the right energy when you go out there, bro. It's true.
Yeah.
Um,
But it is
Let
fun
me ask
because
you.
you asked that about running into someone. Because I one person, this guy Raccoon from B&W, like I literally ran into this guy so many times, like at these Hollywood mansions and on the side of the freeway. It was weird. Like it was like, yeah, it just happened coincidentally. It's funny that you asked that.
Yeah. Do you remember? You remember the Belmont? Was it the Belmont Tunnel back in the day? People used to mob that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for
back in the day.
sure. That's a
Um,
legendary spot. Like,
yeah, it's all over. It's everywhere. It's like not even one little clean spot, right? Everything's just been mobbed over the years. Um, Let me ask you, do you find that art, or over the years, tigers have sort of changed? And if so, in what way? And how does one join a tagging crew?
I feel that the whole culture in general has changed because it's so watered down now. And the internet just has changed so much shit because now you have like probably 50 videos and tutorials showing people like how to do it, and the letter, like all the tricks. So you have like so many people like, oh, you got to do this 3D, you got to do this, and because like that's what there's like videos that basically show like back where they had none of that. Like like fucking I would like get tips from the big homie Ghost from each other. He would write my name like on a Taco Bell napkin, and then I'll go home and practice it. You know what I mean? It's like the internet's changed, and then you got these guys that are not out up in the street. To me, graffiti has to have an illegal element. I don't give a fuck how good you are. If you're fucking doing the same bomb, like you're doing all your bombs on the same board in your backyard, and you're just posting it online, but you're not up in the street. If you don't have any street spots, I'm not going to give you the fucking credit. I don't care like how good you are. I'll give some toy that I see up everywhere more flour than I will this guy that's doing the most incredible art. Because to me, that's a graffiti enthusiast. He's like a fucking street artist in his backyard, but he's not. You have to be up in the street. If you don't have street spots, it's just to me, you're not a graffiti artist. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're just a fucking weekend legal wall bomber and you're from the best crew and you're the best artist. If you're not out there on the street and you don't have street spots, you're not a real graffiti artist to me. I don't care. I'm sorry. Like that's just the way I personally feel.
Wow.
It's,
Wow,
it's
that's
a tough
well
one. So
said.
a
It's
lot of
like
people
it's like
don't.
being an online gangbanger.
Yeah,
um,
that's and there's the guys like that. They just think they're
yeah,
the best. They're like, oh, this guy, they're like downplaying guys on the street that aren't that. Oh, they're not that good. This, like, well, you know what? They're out there in the street. They're out there doing it. You're
yeah.
to me, it's just
You're building a
different.
career out there, and you're over here in the backyard with your what do you call it, training wheels, and your
Whether it's like using the internet to get their name out there, like, and it's just like it's cool. It's like, but I've seen this background, I've seen that more. Oh, okay, so he's just ultimately redoing the same like different stuff in his yard instead of like having like being up in the street. To me, it's like it's about the street spots. You gotta have street
yeah,
spots.
absolutely, sure is, bro. Poise, like hearing you, it's pretty crazy, dude, because it's like reminding me a lot of my cousin, rest in peace, passed away a few years ago. Um, yeah, dude, it's wild how people would go out there and I mean you're obviously on a whole other level, dude, because you're everywhere, dude. You're you're like all over. Where's the farthest you think you've gone, bro? Like the farthest, where you can appreciate
I used to go to Seattle. I used to drive to Seattle every summer, like 3 times. 'Cause that's where I have family up there. So I had, I mean, I don't know if most of them are still. I know for sure I have at least a couple spots from San Diego to Seattle. Like I would drive the five every summer, like 3 times. So I'd be going 6 times from like from LA to Seattle, like and boom, 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 and like fucking like by Troll Bridge in Seattle to fucking Logan Heights in fucking San Diego. I got spots. So
San
like this
Diego.
last time, I just got flicked. Last month, I got flicked fucking in Camarillo, Barstow, past Bakersfield when me and Jose had shit up on the silos and Pixley to
Yeah.
fucking Inland Empire, Orange County, Santa Fe. I had a guy ask me what part of Long Beach I lived in. And I said, Long Beach? I don't live in Long Beach. I said, why you say that? He's like, oh, because I see your shit up all over. I see your shit up all over Long Beach, and I live out here, so I just want to know if you live by me. I'm like, no, homie, I live in the San Fernando Valley. He's like, dang, all right. And someone else asked me that about Bakersfield because I was seeing someone up there, so I would go up there to see her. And every time I went up there, I would just hit 3 or 4 spots. So my name got up there, like they get buffed a lot faster in Bakersfield, but it's actually kind of like flattering if someone asks you that, like, hey, where you live in Bakersfield at, or where you live in
Yeah.
Long Beach? I'm like, I don't live nowhere near that shit. But yeah, so like
Um,
all that, like Norwalk, Montebello, fucking, like literally, and fucking like me, like for a
and
month
East
straight,
LA
we hit.
too.
Yeah,
Big
well, I was gonna say that for a month straight, we were hitting South Central and Compton, Crenshaw, fucking. Yeah, Compton, South Central,
did you hit
Crenshaw,
that
and
big did you hit that big building, the luxury abandoned building
yeah,
downtown?
but I was in my car and we were right there. Like I brought my homies and shit in my truck, so like I was on a lower level right there on the inside, and fucking I didn't want my car to get towed, so I didn't go all the way up. So like, dude, like I got fucking back injury, man. I'm not trying to climb all those steps with all that shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's just crazy.
Hey, boys, do you like co-treat or you work side by side with Hopes? Because it's Hopes and Poise and a
Oh,
couple other guys.
no, no, I'm sorry. What did you say?
because I see hopes, I see poise, and then I see hopes. With the rollers. I don't know that it's
Yeah,
got any relation, but just, I was gonna
he's
ask you
he's
about.
one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite people to write. I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. That guy's up. He's got. I love painting with him because he's sober. He's 100% sober. He like fucking doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink, and it's like when I go painting now, it's like you got to have your wits about you, and that's why I hate going painting with new people because like first, like anyone on my crew, I tell them, I say, dude, don't fucking go out here and try to like take bars and get barred out or do fucking get drunk or high. I'm like, if you can't wait to do that after the 4 hours we're done painting, I don't want to paint with you because you need to have fucking true joy. You need to be able to look for fucking cops, gangsters, fucking heroes, dogs. You need to be alert. And these people, when they get high, they're not doing that. They're falling off fucking freeway signs and buildings and fucking all kinds of stupid shit. When I need to be fucking, I'm on, I got legal issues right now. I'm on probation and fucking, I got another court case coming up. So that's why I'm just like, I need to be careful. So Hopes is very smart. He's sober and I don't have to worry about like anything about that guy. And I got just a tremendous amount of respect. So yeah, he's one of my favorite people to paint with. That's who I go on, like I used to go on like long trips with. Like we've been to fucking that one kids prison that was like closed down in Chino to fucking like Pixley and Bakersfield.
I saw
That
you guys
abandoned
both
water
stop
park,
at Pixley. Yeah,
Barstow. Yeah, then the
Barstow too.
abandoned water park in Barstow. We went out there. I mean, we've gone on missions. We go on like straight up like fucking. We'll drive 2-3 hours. No one else out here. Like they don't even know where those places are that we go to. So yeah,
Yeah,
I got a lot of respect for that
that's
guy.
that's a lot of commitment, man. It's good stuff. So you get inspired, like just do you get inspired like a lot of other artists? You just kind of say, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. Is it now just a hobby, or is it something like a
I
voice that's in
get
your
I just
DNA and you
love it
can't
so
get out?
much. Yeah, I mean, I just see. I get inspired. I get motivated by other writers. I see a spot and I just know like it's gonna crack off, like and then or like I'll see something and I'm just like, oh man, I gotta be like the first person to get that, and like it's cool to see because like when you do see it, I was with my homie Volt, and like this guy there was on the side of the 405 up on the side of the mountain. This fool was like, "Hey man, dude, we gotta fucking get this spot or whatever." Like he's like, "I don't think," and it's like you're not even writing on a wall. You're like writing on like this rubber fucking mat, and then like we capped it off, and then we both didn't know that because of the stupid lip that you couldn't even see it when you drove by the car. So we're like, "Fuck, we got to go back," and now we got to bring a ladder or something to go higher up so you could see it. And we went back, we did it, and then sure enough, fools started following. They all started like coming to the spot and shit, and it's just like just finding new spots motivates me. Seeing new artists just fucking putting in mad work. Inspire me, which makes me motivates me if I haven't feel like I've been putting in the work I should be putting in. And yeah, just I just love this shit. It doesn't even matter. I don't even need inspiration or motivation. I just
You,
love
you
it.
live for it now. It's in your DNA, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I wish really I could. Like, I got these health issues right now. I really need to. I'm gonna need surgery here coming up. So, like, I know, like, my just been coming to a big holding point. So, I was going hard for a while, but now it's to the point where like I'm physically like hurting. Like if I gotta even go out, I'm taking like fucking 2 ibuprofens before I go to carry some fucking 5-gallon buckets and shit because I got a torn rotator cuff. Dude, I'm no joke. I got torn rotator cuff, torn bicep, torn labrum, and I have a tear in my hip. So like these are things I like fucking I'm gonna need surgery for. So I'm gonna be
Yeah.
shutting it down here soon. So I'm just gonna be focusing on other things. But fuck, it's gonna
Yeah.
suck. I'm gonna be out there like, damn, I wish I could go.
Yeah.
You
Um,
know.
do you think you ever get back to like what do they call those slappers? Like those stickers they used to do back in the day?
Yeah, I
Maybe
got a
go
lot
like
of stickers. I still got I get stickers made, and then I also get the post office ones and I'll make them myself. The ones like the post office ones, those are paper ones, so more like I'll just do those to give to people for their black books if I don't have time to actually hit their black book and they want me to hit it, or just because those ones are the paper ones, like when you put them outside, like the weather, if they get wet, that shit's not as good. Now I just like I got
yeah,
homies that print them. Uh, go down to my homie fucking Slap Lab. This is my boy
yeah,
Acre. He
yeah,
has stickers, or like I'll go to Duckies and get some stickers because you can get them good deal from those guys. Those guys are legit. Slap Lab
Yeah.
and Duckies, yeah, for sure.
So,
They'll
do
take
you
care
guys
of you.
still battle? Is there still battles going on between taggers?
I'm glad you
Um,
asked. I'm glad you asked that because that was one of my favorite things in the fucking '90s. Where crew, dude, I was from a crew OLS. We battled 4 crews. Like we fucking battles. Like that shit was so fun getting everyone out there. Like now it's like crews don't battle no more. It's like they don't battle no more. It's like it's not the same. It's not the same. I don't know if individuals battle. Like I did fucking. But back when I was from crews that battled, that was one of the funnest times. Just going out there, fucking carloads deep, and just fucking mobbing it. Like it was like fucking tagging, like you had to just all the way. Like that shit was fun. I was just thinking
yeah,
about that. I'm really glad you asked that question because my homeboy Bisbee was from a crew with me, and we battled for and then like rest in peace Bisbee. We were talking about that, like, and we're just like, crews just don't battle. I don't understand it.
yeah.
If you have beef, you got a problem, battle it out, and then squash it, have a barbecue, football game, and fucking shake hands like men and be done with it.
That's a good question. Do you guys have like huge parties that get together of OGs, like different folks that some people don't do tagging per se, but they pursued other, art forms or whatever else and galleries now. And that they're older. You guys barbecue together. You guys get together like house party. Back in the day, the house parties, they had the party crews and they get together and have like having a cookout at so and so's house.
See, that's another thing too with this. It's gotten so watered down now, and it's gotten so monetized and commercialized. They don't like have shit like that. Like, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna have a fucking in the event a gallery where they're gonna charge money or like like some kind of gallery where they can profit off it, and like a bunch of big like graffiti things. They don't want to do that because there's gonna be fights. There's gonna be problems. Like I have barbecues with my crew. My crew has like we have like just like us getting together, but it's like it's just different now. Like yeah, there's a lot of like different events, but they're usually like at a pop-up museum or like some shit that somebody's gonna try to like make money. It's just not the same. Everything's about it seems like money. You got all these street artists coming in trying to do all these wacky fucking things all over so that they can get their name out there and then they can sell items, for like it just
Yeah.
seems like very different in that aspect to me.
So
But I
it's
can see
it's
why
it's 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 lost its flavor, right? It's sort of like it's lost its essence for graffiti and art. It's more like the monetizing aspect to make the money now more so. And so in doing so, I mean it becomes it loses the art form. Like it's no longer about the art, but it's also about getting filling your pockets up, right? With
and
lining
also
them up.
like it's like recognition from the internet and getting likes and all that shit. You know what I mean? Um, this
Dude,
generation
let
of
me ask.
fucking social media has like fucking ruined these kids. Like the social media has absolutely internet is to me is like the respect thing isn't the same. That there's not as many big homies. That these fucking kids need more big homies to school them the right way, like on the rules of what the shit is.
Yeah.
And it's like to me, it's like all these fucking people that are just getting in all late and shit and all old. It's like they're fucking given something my generation had to take. Like we were fucking like we were graffiti writers and like fucking we were not fucking looked upon like by society in any kind of good way. And shit was fucking rough, dude. We would get fucking ran on by gangsters. Like it was just like a different generation, like it's just yeah, it's watered down and to me it's just like I don't know. It becomes like to me trendy. It's almost trendy.
Yeah. Um, yeah, they're like it's almost like you know, folks they try to be like, well, it's perfect. I guess you could use the vernacular of toys. They're like toys, like people that pretend to be something they're not, but then now with the help of the internet, they got
Yeah.
eyeballs on, and they get
Yeah.
they tend to profit from that. I'm gonna ask
But
you,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
how does one join a tagging crew?
That's another thing. To me, it's funny because a lot of people like they'll be like, "Oh, I like this." They want to go join crews, but they don't really fucking paint with those people, or they don't hang out with them, so they don't know that crews get down. To me, you don't fucking pick your crew. Your crew kind of picks you. You know what I mean? Like like I would never just go fucking join. Like there's so many people now joining like these old ass crews just to like fucking ride or get in there and be a part of that crew's fame, but that crew got their fame from a gang of people that are probably not even writing anymore. You know what I mean? They're trying to like dick right off of that crew's fame. To me, it's like, nah, dude, you gotta fucking build something. You gotta earn something. You know, like
Gotta
I
earn your
turned down crews.
stars and stripes.
I turned down a lot of crews because I don't fucking, if I don't paint with you and I don't know your get down, I don't want to get in your crew, because if I get in your crew and then I know, and then I find out later there's some other like fool over here with like bad paperwork and does like weirdo shit. Now I'm associated with him because of, like that crew. So it's like, I don't know. I tell people like, honestly, if
Guilty by
young writers have
association,
people,
bro. For
don't
sure.
even get in a crew. Like, you don't even, because if you're gonna get in a crew, you're gonna deal with a lot of other people's bullshit. You're gonna end up dealing with, if this fool over here does some stupid shit and crosses out some hood or goes over some other fool, you might catch the flack for that. You might be caught slipping and you might get fucked up. So, and also like fucking straight up, like, yeah, I say, unless you ride with these people, because you're gonna have to ride with them, because like, then don't get in a crew. And then to me it's just so funny, like fools, I have friends that even do it. They'll go want to get in a crew when with a bunch of people they don't know, they don't, just because of like the letters and what they do. But I'm like, yeah, like, to me that's not what it is. Like, you don't even paint with these people, you don't even know their get down, and you want to go get in their crew. Cool story. That's not for me.
Let me ask you this. What does a oneer mean after
A
a
oneer
name?
is just someone that's not
Oneer.
in a crew. They're oneer, they're just like not in a crew at all, they're just like a
Yeah, for those who are
oneer, they're by
watching that don't
themselves.
understand the oneer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
like a
so cool.
oneer, like someone that's a single writer, not part of a crew, not affiliated with the crew. I'm not a
Love it.
oneer, I'm from the crews.
That's right. Boys, are you also from UTI and STP, or those are
Oh,
just your buddies?
no, yeah, those are people I look up to, people I respect. I have homies from there. The guy I like mentored me, kind of like fucking, he was from there. Rest in peace, Ghost. Yeah, no, those are just, those are the two best legendary crews to come from the valley. Those are like the two crews I respect the most from the valley.
Wow,
You know, and
unbelievable.
people don't know that, but STP is 100% of value, because they're up so much in so many places, but
Yeah,
STP is
it's so true.
100% of value.
They've
Rest
been
in peace,
around for a
Pulse.
very, very long time. Also, been around for a very UTI, STP have been around for a very long time. I mean,
Late, yeah, really, like UTI mid '80s and SCP late '80s. And
yeah.
my favorite writer from the Valley was from SCP. Rest in peace, Pulse.
Um,
Mm.
I gotta say, it's been a wonderful, entertaining, an insightful show episode, dude, with you, because you have really pretty much, lend your lens into the life of a legitimate, badass, bona fide artist slash tagger mobber. I mean, one last question for you. How
Yes,
many,
sir.
it's emblematic, like the way that the artwork everywhere. How many pieces, and do you keep count? Like, is there a trail that you have, like, you know what I mean? Do you keep count of everything you worked on, so to speak, like the different canvases from
Not
any
even
from the
close.
spots?
I couldn't keep track of nothing. Right now, I couldn't even tell you how many. I know I have like 6 rollers that were like fucking on the 101 alone, and then like the 405, I had like two. I couldn't even tell you how many rollers or bombs I have running on the freeways right now. That's like, it's just you
Yeah,
can't keep track of that shit.
it's
It's too
insane,
much.
right? There's no such thing as
Yeah,
analytics for that, for sure, because you're just on the go and you
I
keep
just keep
working on
going.
new
The thing
stuff.
was like, I always had a philosophy like this, like, because I'm kind of OCD. So I used to tell myself every day I got to get up at least, like, it doesn't matter what it is, like whether it's a street tag, a slap, an etch, a bomb, or a fucking throwaway. I had to get up, do something at least 20 to 30 times a day. And because 30, like if I, let's just say 20 times a day by, the end of the weeks, times seven, and then times four for the month, and then times 12, like I just try to be consistent, and that's where it is. Like, I'm up because like I'm ahead of the buff, because consistently I made sure I did at least 20 a day of something. Like, it would be 11 o'clock at home, and I would fucking be like, damn, I didn't even do nothing today. I'll go take my dog on a fucking 3 mile walk and just go fucking tag on every street pole just to get my number. Like, I'm OCD like that. It's crazy. Like, no bullshit. Like, I would drive down the street and I have my backpack in the passenger seat. And in that backpack, there's cans, there's edge, streak, slaps. and I'm gonna fucking drive. And if I don't see a car coming this way, I don't see a car coming that way. Whatever's there is gonna get it. A pole, a wall, a curb, something, a window. Nothing's safe. So
Nothing
they can
safe.
all get it.
Nothing
That's what
safer
I have
on
to say.
Poise. Poise
I
from
mean,
2MC. Been nothing but a blast talking to you. We got to do part 2 so we can
yeah.
sort of
Anything that
uncover the
that we
mysteries. There's a
didn't
lot
talk
more to
about.
talk about.
Any other thing that any questions anyone has or anything like that we didn't talk about, it was a
Yeah,
pleasure. It was a pleasure. I really thank you for asking me to do this, and I'm looking forward. Yeah, I would love to do a part 2. There's a follow up because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff
for
that we didn't
sure.
touch on that we wanted to do. But
Yeah, we
absolutely,
definitely
I just
have
want to
to.
thank you again.
We got to definitely peel back some more layers, bro. There's a lot more we could talk about, from mean streaks, from it all started with scribers and I think magnums and the pilots and China markers. And I think that's what they call those, right? With like the string. I remember my cousin having all that, even though he didn't get up so much. I still remember him doing this sort of like being part of this art culture / party crews and whatnot. And it was quite a blast, man, to watch him do this stuff. So that's my show today, guys. Almost Famous Radio Podcast. I honestly, I'm definitely gonna have you back on. We're gonna tag you, no pun intended, tag you on some stuff in my story. Please feel free to tag whatever you want and just tag me, and then I'll upload it to the storyboard. That way we can
Can I say one
appreciate some
thing?
of your artwork.
Can I say one thing?
Yep.
Anyone that's watching this and they want to know more about the area of graffiti, San Fernando Valley, or more about like me personally, go to Graph on YouTube channel, Graph Report. It's Graph_report,
Right.
and we have video, we have interviews on writers from the valley, and there's all kinds of videos, clips, and doing a documentary on the graffiti on the train tracks through the San Fernando Valley. So it's Graph_report, and that's it, man. I just want to thank you one last time, for having me on here, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, let's do it again for sure. We'll jump on a call one of these days, and then we'll talk some more graffiti in the art world here in the greater Los Angeles area and abroad, bro. You're gonna be everywhere, bro. I mean, you're just all over. You can't turn it anywhere without seeing your name. So that was my time. Also wanted to ask you one last thing. This guy Shy, is he like a new cat? Like, he's been all over
Oh,
the place in the valley.
Shy's an
Yeah.
OG legend. Shy's old school. He's even older he's older than me. He's been around a long time. He took a little break for a while for some years, but he started painting again. Yeah, he's old school. He's been around. He's earned his respect.
Yeah, Xernes is for sure, man. It's all over the place. So that's our show, bro. Take care. Hello and goodbye until we meet again. Thank you very much.